to get points.
Sir, the Churchill brothers side also had a slow start to the campaign.
Yeah.
So any changes regarding keeping that in mind for your team today?
Yeah, changing, you may, at the moment, TRAU has no foreign players at the moment. They are not fully fit. So from the last match, we have changed one player in place of one foreign player. So I hope they will do better today.
Thank you so much, coach, and all the very best.
Thank you very much.
Just the one goal in five. That was that first one from Lytton Shill against Delhi FC. That in fact was a draw. So when they have scored, they have got points. And you can see Shubhashish Roy Chaudhary, with all his experience, he has been in these positions before. He has a bit of a word with the Churchill brothers side. What do you think will be spoken about just heading into this game, especially for Churchill?
I think Churchill brothers are looking forward. They know they have a game here right now against a team who's not really confident, not really knowing where to go. So at the end, I think Churchill Brothers has a focus on moving forward. If they win today, they get 3 points. They will move up with 7 points in a total. So their mindset is only getting those 3 points. TRAU, on the other hand, they will have to figure out how to start scoring that goal, how to finish their little chances that they have, and they need to do better there.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about the 3 points today as Churchill Brothers and TRAU kick us off at Tilak Maidan Stadium here in Goa. Churchill Brothers looking to get the 3 points to take them to 7. TRAU looking for their first 3 points of the campaign. They have drawn 1 but have lost the other 4. 3 points have never been more important for these two teams, and for one of them, hopefully they can get their season up and running. For the other, if they do not get points out of this one, it could be a very big problem. A bit of a push there from behind. And we've spoken about Churchill Brothers. They have got a few goals courtesy that man Ricardo, 3 of them so far for him. But sometimes it's about the rest of the team providing those goals as well. And I think it's high time that the rest of them start getting onto the score sheet as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, if you only focus on one target man up front, if he has a couple of matches that he doesn't score, suddenly it becomes much more difficult.
Now this could be a big chance for TRAU, and he's gone with his left foot there, Abraham. It was all open for the right-footed curler inside the far corner, but it didn't look like he was too comfortable on that right foot.
No, he had a free post on the right side. Just push it with your right foot. It will always turn to the inside. A wonderful pass from Robinson also towards him. But that's a missed chance there.
What a big opportunity. We said that goals have been a problem for both these teams. And Abraham in the first minute of the game could have got TRAU up and running. And Steve, it would have been so important for them after such a bad string of performances to get a goal so early on in the game.
Yeah, that would have given him a boost to fight and go forward for the next 90 minutes. But now already I can assure you, let us watch. Now this is the foul a little bit earlier. It was the open opportunity. But a goal like that could have given him so much trust, so much boost right now to go for those 3 points. And I can guarantee you now, in the mind of our Abraham, already it starts playing. Again, I didn't score. I missed this opportunity. This is a big problem for them already.
Oh yes, it does become a bit of a mental battle as well, especially when you're in such poor form. Here come Churchill Brothers though, down the right hand side. That's a ball dinked towards the far post, but it goes over the top and out for a goal kick. And Mohammad Rafiq Ali Sardar, who is starting again today for TRAU, had a bit of a nightmare in the last game versus Srinidhi Deccan. He conceded 5, that's always a bad day, but also made a few basic errors. It's important for him to start strong today as well. Here comes Ricardo, bit of a loose touch, and already a bit of pressure from Churchill Brothers. They've also chopped and changed their team quite a bit. Stenley now starting. Looks like this will be a long throw set up by Gogu. Launches it in, it's a flat one. Ricardo goes for the flick, that's nicely done. Very calm defending. I think it was from Gogoi. And now it's launched quickly for TRAU to try and get a move on. But Robinson gets a throw out of that.
Ricardo was in the right position to do that flick. Very dangerous flick also. Direction, a zone where maybe an opportunity could have been. But the TRAU defense did what they had to do over there. Controlled it, and goalkeeper could just take it in his hands. Started playing again. Tried to get that ball on the other side. So TRAU is playing football, not just using these long balls, which will be important for them.
And that is a very good move from Bidyananda, who I said needs to step up. He does exactly that to start off this game. Now a chance for Robinson. I think he just got under it. And you can sense the frustration already for TRAU. But still a better move from them.
They are getting some opportunities indeed, having a couple of moments there. But again, as was the first opportunity, a shot to really nowhere. And again, a little bit of an opportunity missed there.
Yeah, sorry, Sam Robinson Singh, who knows a thing or two about Goa, has spent a bit of time with the FC Goa reserve side, who also play in the Goa Pro League, where Churchill brothers also have a team. So he might be knowing a thing or two about Churchill brothers. There's Bidyananda, plays it long this time. Abraham takes it down very nicely, but Caligari gets a touch, and that was a bit of a clash. You've got to watch out. There was Ricardo onside. Eventually it was played by the defender, so he is onside. And the ball was quite wide, and now he's asking whether he was actually on, because the defender did get that touch.
At the end, on the first ball, guarantee he was offside.
Yeah.
But it's the defender who plays the ball backwards towards his goalkeeper. And that means normally at that point he shouldn't be offside. But if it was quite far on the right side already, I don't think it would have been an opportunity. But as we said before, Ricardo, very dangerous target man. And again, he shows it, very smart positioning.
Exactly, you have to be able to sniff goals from different opportunities, and that's exactly what he tried there. This is a good ball through for Stanley, who has Anil running beyond him. Stanley plays it backwards to Martin, the skipper. Nice back heel from him, and not the best of deliveries. In fact, goes over the top of Ricardo, who should keep it in, and gets another throw, which he will try to be on the end of again. Here's Gogo. Nice long run up for him. Flicked on again and cleared again by the TRAU side. Not too far. Gogo puts it back into the dangerous area, and Gogoi with the clearance.
Now it was Emiliano who was very close on the flick on. Every time they're trying to do a little bit that same thing with that long throw in, which can be very dangerous if the flick is right. But we see already again Churchill trying to get that ball, TRAU taking it over and trying to find a player forward. But there is only one player waiting up front, and that's Abraham.
Yeah, Abraham has to be careful not to get isolated. That's a good 1-2 down that left. Chance for a cross. A decent delivery. Keeper comes for it, punches it out just about. And now Robinson can move forward. Takes it into that left channel. Does quite well, in fact, to fend off a couple of challenges. And that was a clear one from Gogo to get the ball back. And I mentioned it earlier, Steve, the keeper for TRAU, Rafiq, will be slightly nervous coming into this one. Here's Martin, takes a shot at Rafiq. He does quite well to hold on to that one. It was an awkward one to take.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit in the last game with 2 goals in the first post, especially that first one. It was like half a cross, but he was not ready there. Then he gave on the last goal, he gave a pass in the opposing team's players who just had to finish it. 3 times like that. Even his first save that he did today was like a half-half situation. And there, the last one, he did good. So maybe he will take a little bit that confidence there to see and to let it grow. But at the end, for a goalkeeper, it's the same confidence levels as for a striker. You need to be at 100% to keep that 0. A striker needs to be at 100% to score that goal.
Oh, absolutely. TRAU go in for a long throw of their own. Doesn't really work. Now Churchill brothers can move forward. It's been quite an open game to start off with. Some decent chances at either end. Here's Anil, who's had a good start to the season. Gogu, always dependable for Churchill brothers. Now a bit of possession for them as Emiliano plays it forward. Martin, who loves the ball at his feet, turns and then looks towards that right-hand channel to find Anil Gonkar, who should keep it in. Does quite well, and it will be yet another long throw by the looks of it. In fact, it's short this time, switching it up, taking it quickly. Martin can turn. Stanley Gogu looking to cross, delays it quite a bit, and then makes a hash of it.
So something tactically that I've seen with TRAU already, and it's something that in my eyes is playing a little bit against him. So the starting formation is in a 4-3-3, but when they are attacking, most of the times they go in a 4-2-4 with two wingers going very deep, with Robinson coming closer direction Abraham. Main problem is that the two defensive midfielders and the four players in the back stay almost behind their halfway, and there is a huge gap where the four players up front can't play anyone too.
And there you see it, those are the four players now being joined in a bit of an attack. It looks like an overlapping run is made, it's been ignored. Perhaps that was the better ball towards the right hand side. Now Martin can move it forward for Churchill brothers. And eventually a decent bit of defending there from Bishorjeet Mehte. And that has been the issue, as you say, Steve. Whenever TRAU have moved forward, it's mostly been their players or their attackers secluded. Another long ball to Ricardo. Decent pressure there from Gogoi. And 10 minutes played. This is where you can totally understand how the teams are lining up. It looks like you've noticed something which is quite important when it comes to TRAU.
Yes, one of the moments what I see is playing against them is Sitaljit and Bidi Ananda, who are staying almost at halfway the whole time. That means the moment that TRAU is attacking, they are coming into a situation where they have 4 attacking players against 7-8 of Churchill brothers players, and every time they lose the ball, except that one opportunity that Abraham missed. Problem is, if your defensive midfielders are not following your attacking part, you can't play the ball backwards anymore because the distance is too big. The defenders, except that one moment where the right fullback was overlapping, are also staying behind halfway. So there is a huge gap between the attacking part and the middle and defensive part. And you can just not create any opportunities. Even now, it is the midfielders who are trying to get this ball where they should have been already much deeper inside the pitch. But this is a decision that the coach makes, and it's something that he tells his players. So this is a part of a game plan that TRAU is playing. But I don't see this as a good game plan to create a lot of opportunities. And you see, Churchill brothers always have that ball quickly back, and they can just play the ball around because there's much more movement going on.
Well, absolutely, I think it is a fair point. We had noticed it earlier on in TRAU's game, where there was only Abraham. That time he was playing in the midfield. A bit of a 1-2 there. Ricardo doesn't find his teammate. And it was Abraham alone. He did have Balde here and there, but today he doesn't have him. And it could be the same issue for TRAU, where they just don't have enough in that midfield. Looks like someone has stayed down for the time being. Yeah, one of the TRAU players might need some treatment.
At the end, this tactical problem is due to stamina not being strong enough to go up and down as a team. And when we talk about attacking or defending, you always need to do it team-wise. You cannot just let your attacking players be in the final third and all the rest of the team waiting, because 6 players most of the time of TRAU are waiting over halfway. This just doesn't work at the end. You need to be able to go up and down very quickly. So what we indeed see is that Robinson, like I expected, a lot of times comes next to Abraham, but it makes 4 on a line up front, and the gap is just too big. And I think that the two defensive midfielders at the moment just don't have the stamina, or I don't see it in the game plan right now, have the stamina to follow the attacking part, and it makes that there is gaps everywhere.
Yeah, another gap for Churchill, played through, keeper comes for it, just gets a bit of a touch that should go out for a throw in. And Churchill brothers, as you said, will have a lot of the ball today because of the tactical change for TRAU. Here come the red machines again. Martin, Richard Costa. Lots of men behind the ball for TRAU, but as you said, when it comes to attacking, it could be very difficult to move forward. Here's Gogu, continues his run, but the ball doesn't find him with that particular pass.
I think there was a better option. He could have played deeper on the left side, but he made, in my eyes, a little bit of a wrong choice playing it too far. We're going to see another far throw-in.
Quite a few red shirts in the box. Here's Gogu looking for a flick on again. I think there was a push this time from Emiliano, so he's also coming up for those long throws. Taken quickly by TRAU. And then the long ball is played towards Abraham, who has been a live wire for them in what has been a very dark patch for the TRAU side. And it would have been a different story had he scored that goal. Here come Churchill brothers though, enjoying this possession and this space in the midfield. As you mentioned, that's a poor pass from Mesam. Not on the same wavelength there. Gogu tries to win it back. And a bit of off the ball stuff as well between Gogu and Carlos Pau.
Was a bit of pushing around from both players, but not in really too bad. Yes, he stopped, he put a real block in front of him, but it was nothing really dangerous at that point because his teammate was there already. So I think it's the right decision of the referee.
Yeah, this will be a game where we might not see too many chances. What is important is if you do get your chance, you've got to take it. And that is exactly what someone like Ricardo does for Churchill brothers. He could be in here. In fact, it's fallen towards Costa. Here's Ricardo, who takes a chance right on cue. Ricardo has got number 4 for the season. And if you give him a bit of space in the box, he will punish you. It's 1-0 to Churchill brothers.
He's a killer in the box. We've said it before. He shows it again. Good pass also, not selfish. Very important there because a lot of players would have had that first touch, shot at goal immediately, as we will see. No, it's immediately the finish. Simple touch in the corner. Goalkeeper again, in my eyes, a bit too far already to his left side. Opens his up completely for Ricardo, and Ricardo doesn't need to think twice. 1-0 for Churchill brothers.
What a start to the campaign he is having, Ricardo. That's a good turn from Bidyananda. Now Abraham has dropped deeper as Robinson moves forward. Can TRAU get one back? They need to, otherwise Churchill brothers could open them up even more. Here's Bidyananda looking for the 1-2. He gets it back, takes a shot from distance. And it's another high shot for TRAU. And this is exactly what Churchill brothers and Edgardo Raul Malvestiti would have wanted. A goal within the first 20 minutes. And now this will give them a chance to just hold on to the ball and get a few more goals that they have been searching for in this I-League so far, and they haven't gotten.
I don't think that the first point of them really is looking at more goals. I think the first and most important for Churchill brothers is getting those 3 points.
Yeah.
Getting 7 points in total moves them up the table, gives them distance with TRAU, because TRAU would stay on 1, and already gives them a little bit of breathing space and an opportunity to go and fight with the bigger teams who are now already on 13 and 16 points. So that makes a difference for them if you can look forward instead of backwards.
Oh yes, definitely. They were ninth coming into this game, Churchill Brothers. If they can get the 3 points, then they will go to around that 7th position, around Delhi FC and Interkashi, who are both on 7 points. And then just above them is the likes of Aizawl and Shillong Lajong, who won today versus Delhi FC. So it's important for Churchill Brothers to get this win if they do, because then, as you said, it puts you in and around those other teams. Here's Gogu, Stanley, lots of space. They're just backing off him there, and Stanley goes for a different kind of pass towards Anil Gonkar, who did not expect that. But no real intent there from the TRAU players to just close him down.
Was 4v1 and still no pressure. You're around the box. If that ball would have been good, could have been very dangerous. Was a bit of a tricky one what he did there, but no pressure at all, no chasing on the one with the ball. Very strange play at the moment.
And Ricardo trying to turn once again. Again, Stanley goes for that roulette and gets brought down, but I don't think it would have been a penalty. Again, the TRAU defenders just not trying to move forward. Here come Churchill Brothers. Martin leaves it and then gets it back and looks for a bit of a ball into the area. But TRAU managed to deal with it. Ralte. Tomei Samu just likes to play those short passes, keep it going in the midfield. Ponifaz has brought a lot of stability to this side as well. Gogu loses possession this time round, but then settles for a throw.
And if you look at the disastrous season or started the season of TRAU at the moment, playing 6 matches and already conceding 15 or minus 15, let me say it that way, that's a terrible statistic, because if we look at the other teams, they have double conceded the goals than the other teams, and it's already for them, even if they start getting points, they need to start scoring goals to put that goal difference a little bit better, because at the end of the season this can play against you. And it's something that TRAU, you see here the way they are struggling on simple basics. Right now TRAU is in big trouble.
Oh yes, you can say that again. And what could have been a good start to the game, courtesy of this man Abraham, who has been bundled out of the way, has now turned into another 1-goal deficit. Looked like he was going to blow for the foul there, the ref, and then eventually he has, because of the fact that his assistant has assisted him. That's basically what he's there for. It did look like a foul on first viewing, didn't it?
Yeah, I think we all agreed it was a foul. We all saw it, but sometimes ref, the position that they are, they can't always see everything. And this is why you got more than one referee, which is your linesman, and they need to help you, and that's what he exactly did. Correct decision over there.
Yeah, it was very easy for the linesman to just say it's all right, can move along with the game, but it's good to see him taking a bit of that responsibility as well. And speaking of responsibility, TRAU have an opportunity to get something here. Decent delivery in, headed away there by Richard Costa. And now Abraham goes for the spectacular. He is capable of it. We've seen him try it before, but this time the ball was a little too low and far away for his liking.
And something what you saw in this free kick from Churchill Brothers, what surprised me a little bit, they were playing in zone. They were not playing on the man. I saw some players moving positions, which one was Abraham, and no one was following. That means that the coach told them free kicks against. Everyone stay in their zone. You block your zone. Don't go and follow the players.
Bit of a push there. A bit of a dangerous one. Should be a foul for Churchill Brothers. Abraham just putting a bit of pressure there. And you said about goal difference, Steve, minus 15 for TRAU so far, conceded 16 goals, just scored 1. Rajasthan United, who are on 12th, have a minus 7 goal difference. So already, as you said, they are in a really, really poor position. How do they get out of this one?
At the end, it's a moment where TRAU needs to clearly work on their attacking part, finish the small opportunities that they get, and I think at the end, look, every team who's playing in I-League has quality, otherwise you are not there, and that's the same for TRAU. But right now it's maybe just not coming out of the players. Maybe they are not 100% fit, like the coach also said. Some of the players who are struggling with fitness at the moment. We also know that TRAU had to come to Kalyani. It took a long time before having their team together. Maybe a short pre-season. If you're a short pre-season and matches are coming one after the other, that's when you start getting your injuries. You need to do your travels. You need to be fully ready. You start getting small injuries. And if you're not at 100% fit, this is what happens. And as you said, right now, they are in a very difficult situation.
Yeah, and in just a blink of an eye, another ball played to Ricardo. That is good goalkeeping this time from Rafiq. In just a blink of an eye, this will be the end of their 6th game. And you play 12 teams in the first proper round. So you're already halfway through playing all of the teams. And the opponents who TRAU will face, those teams will be looking at TRAU as a certain 3-pointer. So the pressure is going to just keep getting worse and worse, especially as you move on the season without getting a win. So definitely a big problem for them. But for Churchill Brothers, on the other hand, as we said, this could be the game where they get their season up and running.
And for TRAU, the matches are not going to become easier. Let us first see here.
Abraham with the ball in will be kept alive. A couple of more white shirts go into the penalty area. That is a backwards ball though. Chance for a shot from distance, which is a feeble one. The shots haven't worked out. This time it was Shitaljit.
And as I was saying, the next couple of matches will not become easier. You were saying they are being looked at a little bit as a target. The next match is in Shillong.
Chance for Anil here to try and cross something. Decent delivery towards the second post, but there was someone there. And Stenley will play it back towards Maysam, and Churchill Brothers will try to start again. Here's Richard Costa, who's already got a very nice assist. And Martin, who has been brought down, but again the ref says it's not a foul. Another decent delivery. Anil Gaonkar looks like he is offside before you can get excited about that chance.
So I'll go through with the quick fixtures. As I was saying, next match, Shillong Lajong, who has now won 2 matches in a row at home. So very difficult match to go and play. And then they will play 3 matches at home, which is not really their home. They will be playing against Aizawa, Intakashi and Namdari, who are a little bit around them. They're not the top teams at the moment. But it's not becoming easier at all.
Oh, definitely. And as you said, you might have to just take each game as it goes. You never know in the I-League. You can get a victory over anyone. We've seen that before. And especially in that mid-table portion, anyone can beat anyone. So TRAU have just got to keep going. And hopefully for them, they can start getting some points. Otherwise, it could be a very disappointing season. Ricardo plays it towards Martin, who delays that a bit but keeps it in. Ricardo will continue. Martin gets chopped down, and that is definitely a free kick An unnecessary one, he was moving backwards, and this will be a good opportunity for Churchill Brothers to put something into the area.
And it was always also a very smart one. Look here, you already see that Martin is even smiling after it. You see that he was looking for the foul also, turns away from his defender, knows that he's going to tackle, which he should never do, and already going to go on the floor to get a very dangerous free kick.
They expect something better from the likes of Preetham. Brings down Martin. Quite a few options in the penalty area. Can Churchill Brothers make it number 2 on the stroke of the half-hour mark? Martin goes for the shot himself this time. And it sails over the crossbar. Lots of possession there for Churchill Brothers, as you saw. And that is quite expected, having seen the way TRAU started off. There's Ricardo, who goes for another spectacular one. A great turn from him and an apology from the keeper, not once but twice. They just can't seem to be doing anything right, can they, TRAU?
No, but it starts again with a ball from the goalkeeper that is to absolutely no one. Instead of just taking your time, you still got 60 minutes to go. Match is not finished. Take your time, play a good ball, get confidence as a goalkeeper after the mistakes that he's made. And again, for me, it's already 2-3 small mistakes also today. And this was again one. You saw him apologizing to his teammates. This goes in the head of a goalkeeper.
Yeah, and what's interesting, as you say, is if you've made those mistakes, then why try that kind of a ball? Just boot it up long and then give your big strikers like Abraham something to fight for. But hopefully he will learn from those mistakes. And here come TRAU trying to create something. Churchill Brothers look quite comfortable every time TRAU move forward. Quick throw is taken. Bidyananda turns, plays it backwards. And now it's given away again by TRAU. Anil plays it to Ricardo, who will try to go on his own, opens it up for himself, and turns nicely and stands it up at the second post, but cannot find Richard Costa, trying to repay that favor. Here is Costa though for number 2, and it's all too easy for Churchill Brothers. An assist and now a goal for Richard Costa, and it's 2-0 for Churchill Brothers. TRAU are just not helping themselves.
What a mistake of the defenders. At first we had a cross from our Ricardo, who tried to get the ball in the third zone already to Richard Costa. He was free there. There is a second cross in the exact same area, and again no defender taking him on. Just had to put the ball with his head. You will see it here. Same area, completely alone. No one who took him. 2-0 for Churchill Brothers. These are mistakes at this level that cannot be made, and I'm sure that right now the coach knows it.
Yeah, you can see the frustration for Nanda Kumar Singh. Churchill Brothers was sitting back. They had maybe one player in the opposition half. TRAU gave the ball away, and then it all started from there. And it all fell apart, and it has been that sort of a start to the campaign for TRAU. The same thing in this game as well. And now Churchill Brothers can really hurt them and even worsen that already really bad goal difference. Abraham now with each goal is dropping slightly deeper. Bidyananda plays it wide. Abraham does not continue his run. Here is a chance to put something into the area. Only 2 players there. Decent delivery. Here's Robinson, but Bonifaz gets the touch there first. Can be kept alive here for Abraham. Does decently well. And Gogu manages to play it out. Abraham, in fact, wins it back nicely from Ronald Gonkar. This is better from TRAU. You can see Malves Titi, the Churchill Brothers coach, doesn't want them to let anything pass, but Anil Gonkar and someone else is also down. Looks like it's Bishorjeet.
It was indeed one of those moments, what you were just saying earlier, Abraham not following that run inside the box. You start seeing mentally already he's suffering. He's not giving that 100% to get in the box. But then a second later, he blocked it. Here you see the first goal again. Open goal, easy touch for the striker, and an even easier header for the 2-0.
The second time it was Anil Gonkar. Absolutely free. It looked like it was Gogoi who left Costa alone. And as you said, Steve, the first time they stopped that ball towards him, and the second time it's like they forgot he was there at the back post. So it's just these small things, as you said, that TRAU are really lacking.
This is a goal that just starts with communication. You do a first cross, you see Ricardo trying to put it in the third zone. What is your action that you do immediately? You try to get it again immediately close down in the third zone, and you block that. But like you said, they forget him, and he just needs to put his head wherever he wants to put it. It would have always been a goal, 2-0, and you had the first chance to open the score in this game.
Yeah, that's something that they will always remember in this game, TRAU. Abraham had a good chance on his right foot, decided to take it with his left, just changed the entire angle of it. And after that, they haven't really created anything, and Churchill brothers have been quite good in taking their chances. First, Ricardo, and after that, Richard Costa. And now TRAU find themselves in familiar territory. 2 goals down with around 10 minutes to go in the first half. Decent turn there. Stendley just had a bit of a touch to bring down Sheetaljit. Now Vidyananda can move it forward. Nice leave by Abraham, but Ponifaz does really well to step in and stop that particular through ball. Ricardo holds it up this time, plays it wide for Martin, who plays it back towards Ricardo. What a brilliant ball! Ricardo was open and it just got away from him. But again, the defense asleep. But that was a great move by the 2 South Americans. And now TRAU themselves can move forward. That's a good challenge from Ponifaz. Once again, lots of openings for Churchill brothers there, Steve.
Yeah, and it was at the end complete opposite of what happened with Abraham at TRAU. He did a run of 30-40 meters to get to that spot, receive the ball. I think he was just a little bit too tired for his first touch. Otherwise, it would have been in the box. A great opportunity again, but what a pass also. That pass in between 2 centre-backs for him to just be able to control that and to get and create that opportunity. But it stays 2-0. TRAU is very, very lucky here. But you see the difference in mentality between Abraham, who did not do that run, and our striker from Churchill brothers getting there and again making that danger.
Absolutely, the intent from Ricardo definitely shown. Already 4 goals in the campaign, could have made it 5, and that might have been the best of the lot because of the way he played it towards Martin and then he returned it back to him. But TRAU still have a bit of hope as we see this foul from Stendley, just leading with the studs there. And Churchill brothers have tinkered with their midfield throughout the few games that they have played, and now they look to have found a good combination of Stendley and Richard, and then Maysam just behind them. So it's working for them that way. And then they also have quite a few players on the bench.
And it also takes time, of course, for the coach to come in, speaks another language, doesn't speak English, to bring in, we see, add 2 Argentinian players, an Uruguay player. They understand the same language,
Yeah.
but of course the Indian players don't. And if you need that translation every time, it takes a little bit of time to understand the runs, to understand the positioning. And I think indeed, like you just said, this can make a difference after a couple of games, and you see that they start finding each other.
I'll just get back to that point, Steve, because that is something that you are familiar with. The fact that you are coaching in Bengal, you don't know the local language. A few of the players might not be well versed with English as well. So just give us a bit of an insight as to how tough that can be as a coach.
Yeah, when I arrived here, I was very, very lucky to have my assistant coach, Coach Anjan Nath, who has been at the club for, I think, around 30 years. Knows Bengal football. I think he's almost won every possible trophy except I-League. All the rest, I think he's almost won, and CFL also not. But all the other ones, let me say it that way, he has won. He played finals. He worked with top coaches like Elko Chatterjee, who had a little bit the same problem as me. But indeed, you come into a structure and into a language where they don't understand you. A lot of them don't have the knowledge. A lot of them don't know what you mean. And you need to try to let them understand very quickly the principles and the philosophy of football that you want to play. But the people around you are so important. And this is why I prefer, when I go to a certain country, let us see first here what happens.
And here's Abraham, has a chance to cross, does really well, and this time goes with his right foot. So he does have the confidence to take it on his right. It's just that it might be a little too late, but that is better from TRAU.
That should have been a pass after his first dribble here. Good on his right foot. It's a corner that you almost can't get. Two players behind him. I'm not even talking on the 6-yard box. Two players behind him he could have passed through. That could have been an opportunity of shooting there. But to finish what I was saying with language, of course, quite a few of the players have basic knowledge of English, and they also are helping a lot with the translations. Now, if you come from a language, Spanish language like the coach here, or French language, if there is a French coach coming, for an example, who have no basic knowledge of English, it makes it so difficult to understand, especially the tactical part. And what we see with the coach here is he always got a translator with him. And his English is also not 100% perfect. So it makes it more difficult again. But it's challenges that you take and that you accept as a coach. And it's something that you need to be able to adapt, where sometimes you need to adapt your philosophy, your way of playing, for them to understand it quicker. And then you keep working with them until they get what you actually want to see. And that is one of the challenges when you go to another country.
Oh, definitely. It is not easy as a coach to come in and also get different players who are also new to the setup. Some of them don't know each other as well. And so far, Churchill brothers haven't had the best of starts to the campaign. But you can see, as you mentioned, Steve, that it is slowly coming together. And this was the best fixture for them to try and get those 3 points, try different things and get the goals that they were wanting so far. There's Richard Costa, who's finally scored. Somebody else has got onto the score sheet apart from Ricardo, which is good. And here's another chance, not the best of shots though, from Anil Gaunkar, who has got an assist but wants to get on the score sheet himself, isn't able to with that particular effort.
And you saw that Ricardo was a little bit frustrated at him because he was in the center. Those are the moments when you are winning 2-0 that you start thinking, I want to get on that score sheet also. But 2-0 is not yet enough to win a game. First, kill the game with a third or a fourth goal, and then you can start shooting from wherever you want to say it in a bad way. But this should have been better.
Yeah, and Churchill brothers will know that very well. They went into the went into halftime in the last game versus Inter Kashi, leading by a goal to nil, and came out of the game losing it 2-1. Here's another chance. I think it's missed and won't be kept in by the Churchill brothers player. Instead, it's a TRAU player who can move forward. So that's something that they will speak about at half time. Churchill brothers, the fact that even though it's 2-0, you've got to be careful. That's a good challenge coming in there from Ralte to win it back. Gonkar plays it back towards Ralte, who now moves forward. Martin leaves it for Ricardo, and then Ricardo plays the ball through again. But Martin was making an underlap here as well. But this is good stuff from Churchill brothers. TRAU, on the other hand, just allowing them to make those passes and runs too easily.
Yeah, there's just not enough running in the TRAU players at the moment. You see Churchill brothers not playing at a high tempo. It's just let the ball go around from left to right, find a space in between, and there's always spaces because of not running quickly enough back, not moving up quickly enough. There's another extra 2 minutes that we will be seeing here. But I'm not really convinced about even the level and tempo that Churchill brothers is playing today, and still they're creating so many opportunities.
Another aimless ball. Subhashish will take that every day of the week and still gives a bit of a mouthful to his defenders. That's something you like to see from an experienced campaigner. Gogu almost makes a hash of that, but does well to recover and uses that shielding ability. And when you have someone like a Subhashish Rao Chaudhary who covered up for his defenders there and then spoke to them and is a bit of a leader for Churchill brothers, you need something like that from TRAU, and you're just not seeing it, are you?
No, indeed, you're not seeing right now people picking up the game, talking to their teammates, and sometimes it can be even quite badly talking to your teammates if they're not doing it properly, if they're not doing the task what the coach told you to do. It's something that I notice quite often here in India, is that a lot of the players even don't dare to talk and are quiet on the pitch if something goes bad. And it's most of the times a lot of the foreign players who are doing the coaching, who are doing the leading, but it needs to come from your whole team.
Another aimless shot there. In fact, this time blocked by Abraham because he didn't expect it to come in. Bishorjeet taking that shot. And now again, TRAU giving a lot of space and giving the ball away again to Stenley. It's at walking pace here for Churchill brothers, as you said. Costa happy to keep possession as we move into the final seconds of this first half. And it will be half time. And it has been a half where TRAU had the first proper chance of the evening. They let that one slip. And then Churchill brothers have come in and have taken control of this game at Tilak Maidan Stadium. As it stands, it's 2-0 as Churchill brothers lead TRAU. And we take a look at the statistics. 62% ball possession for the Red Machine. 7 shots, 3 of them on target. 2 of them have found the back of the net. 6 shots from TRAU, mostly from outside the box. Just the one on target. 5 fouls each. 1 yellow card for Churchill brothers, which went to Gogu. No red cards, no corners in the game so far. And a couple of offsides for Churchill brothers. As we take a look at the shots from the Red Machines, Ricardo Disciara with 2, scoring 1. Anil Gonkar taking 1. Richard Costa scoring and is the first to be on the score sheet for Churchill brothers after Ricardo. Gogu, Martin and Stenley also taking a few shots from outside the area. For TRAU, Abraham with a very good opportunity in the first minute. He let that one slip. Took another shot as well. Then Bidyananda, Bisho, Robinson and Shitaljit all taking shots from very far away from that 18-yard area. And it's going to be tough to beat someone like Subhashish Rao Chaudhary from such a distance. 5 fouls for Churchill brothers. Stenley with 2, Caligari, Costa and Martin with 1 each. But incidentally, it was Gogu who got the yellow card. 5 fouls from TRAU as well. Abraham has been very involved as always. Vidyananda, Preetham and Shitaljit with 1 foul each. Let's take a look at the highlights at Tilak Maidan Stadium. It's match number 34. Churchill brothers hosting Tidham Road Athletic Union. This was the big chance we were talking about that Abraham took with his left foot, even though the right-footed shot was preferable. That was Robinson, who started off quite nicely in the first few minutes of the game. Go with a challenge from behind. And then Costa setting this up for Ricardo, who found the back of the net. So many TRAU players, none of them stopping him. And Rafiq just watching that go in. Martin took a shot from a distance, that didn't work. And then Alil Gaunkar set up Richard Costa, who nutmegged the keeper and scored a header and got his first early goal of the campaign. Easy as you like at an unmarked second post. And then Martin set up Ricardo again, but it was just a poor first touch which let him down. And it has been an impressive first half for Churchill brothers. Quite a disappointing one for TRAU. At half-time at Tilak Maidan, it reads 2-0 as Churchill brothers lead TRAU. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back after a short break for the second half. Welcome back to second half action in the I-League. Churchill brothers leading by 2-0 versus TRAU. And Mohammad Rafiq has conceded another 2 goals. Ricardo has scored another. And TRAU could be facing another defeat if they do not spring some sort of a comeback. As the hosts kick us off again. Martin plays it wide looking for Anil Gaonkar, and TRAU need to change something in this game and in their season. Otherwise, they could be dwindling at the bottom with no company around them whatsoever. Shubhashish plays that one long. Nice touch from Stanley. There is a substitution. Gogu, who got a yellow card, has been replaced by Sebastian Zo. So Churchill brothers already with a bit of a switch, not taking any risks by leaving Gogu on the pitch. Here's Bidyananda as the possession was given away quite cheaply. Run down the right hand side. Chance for a cross first time, which was not taken by Preetham. And now TRAU will have to settle for a throw. Bidyananda, nice touch, gets it back. But again has to play it backwards. And Churchill brothers not minding the fact that TRAU have a bit of possession in this midfield, because then they can just sit back and wait for the possession to be given to them like it has been there. Lovely flick there from Martin. Anil played it back to Martin, but it looks like Ricardo was waiting for the ball, and there is a push from Martin. And that could have been another ball played towards Ricardo. He's always wanting the ball, isn't he?
He's always on the right spot. Typical top scorer, typical target man, waiting for that ball. Maybe not the most agile every time, but knows ways to position himself. And it's these kind of moments that his teammates need to know where to play that ball. And this was another opportunity. But again, TRAU not really starting with a high press, not really giving these emotions of we need to get that momentum back. And this will be something they will have to change in the second half to do better.
And here they go trying down the right hand side. That's a decent challenge from Ralte. Looks like it could be given as a foul. We'll just wait for that. Looks like the assistant spotted something. Was slightly high with that challenge coming in, Ralte. It is Carlos Pau who is down. Will receive a bit of treatment there.
I don't think it was that bad, but he was on the right position. So he gave immediately the signal, like we saw in the first half also with the other linesmen, looking at what is happening in the game. And this is very positive that the linesmen are making decisions also, because at the end the referee cannot see everything, and this was really next to him, so he made the right decision there.
And this is a good opportunity for TRAU to put something into the area. Carlos is told by the assistant to go on, but has to go back off after receiving treatment, has to wait this particular set piece out. Delivery towards the first post, and Shubhashish would always get that. And it looks like he thought it had gone out before, and it will be a corner. A bit of a mistake there from Shubhashish. Another chance for TRAU. The delivery has to be better this time though. Preetham stands over it. As you said, mostly zonal marking from Churchill brothers. First corner of the game. Not the best deliveries again. And now Churchill brothers can move it forward. Here's Anil. In fact, it's Stanley who has a lot of pace and a lot of space alongside him. Plays it wide. And now TRAU do have a bit of time to try and get themselves back into shape. Here's Martin. Ralte gets it from Martin. The idea was right, but then it's snuffed out there by Gogoy, I beg your pardon. But then again, given away by TRAU. That is very disappointing.
Yeah, these are moments where TRAU just needs to be better and finding the partner to give that ball. Like at the moment, what you see happening with Churchill brothers, there's always that pass in between the lines. There's someone running free. But like I said in the first half, at the moment, TRAU, there's just not enough movement inside the team. There's not enough. When Churchill brothers just went on the counter-attack, you saw still 4 or 5 players of TRAU not running back. And it's just not possible. You're losing 2-0. You need to go up and down with your team. You need to run. Now again, you see 4 players there not running back to come and help their defense, just waiting up front. I think that there is a big divide between the attacking players and the defensive players. And that's where the teams at the moment are just playing around. You see again, Churchill brothers is not really putting high pressure, but they just lose the ball themselves, TRAU.
Yeah, once again, they have lost it. Here's Anil, who looks for a shot. If he was brought down, there could have been a penalty. Has to recycle it now. Not the best of balls to Martin. And Churchill brothers not helping themselves either. They're getting those balls in the positions. They've got to make the most of it. And it's just like a cycle, isn't it, Steve? There's a gap between that midfield and defense, as you've mentioned. Then they play the ball back to the defense, and then the defense loses it. So something has got to change. And it's getting far too obvious. Churchill brothers themselves are allowing the defenders to have the ball and then slowly pressing them and then getting possession. So it has to change for sure.
Churchill brothers is not even putting high pressure. They're not even going 100% for it right now. It's just defending in between the lines, what Churchill brothers is doing, and waiting on a bad pass of TRAU. They're not doing more than that. Just wait on a bad pass, and they almost are sure that that bad pass will happen. And then they just take the ball and start playing and try to generate an opportunity. Where TRAU has some moments up front, like now.
Yes, Abraham could have crossed it first time, decided not to. Now plays it on the edge of the area. Bidyananda with a shot. It was always going wide. And again another chance, but it couldn't be taken. 7 shots from TRAU. But the problem for them is that they haven't really tested the likes of Shubhashish Roy Chaudhary enough.
I don't think he had to do one real save at the moment. He's had one opportunity that should have been a real save there, but with Abraham missing the ball completely. But for the rest, he's had a easy evening at the moment, like in my eyes, most of the Churchill brothers also.
It has been quite easy for them. And as you've said, haven't really gone into a 4th gear yet, have Churchill brothers, but they're already 2-0 up. Would want to get a 3rd and put this game to bed. And that won't be kept in this time by Ricardo. That should be a TRAU throw again.
It's just shocking to see how slow that these transitions from defense to attack and from attack to defense are going through in the team of TRAU. Churchill's brothers has the ball here now. Look at 3-4 runners immediately going forward. And Churchill brothers already know we're just going to keep it a little bit tempo, not too much pressing, running forward anymore. But TRAU now has the ball. You're losing 2-0. What would you be doing? You would be playing quick, 1-2 touches, movement around the ball, creating spaces. And it's like just watching the same tempo over and over again at the moment.
Yeah, another missed pass as they try to switch that and go a little quicker. Quite a few fans here at Tilak Maidan Stadium. We do know that Goa loves its football. And as you can see, around the ground, Churchill brothers have been champions of the I-League twice. Goan sides dominating the I-League in that 20s era for a few years. And it's been a while since a Goan side has won the I-League. Of course, it is only Churchill brothers who are in the I-League right now. Costa with the foul there. Likes of Sporting and Dempo trying to get back in and are building very good teams to do so. Here's Bidyananda who takes a shot. Had a bit of dip on it and it looks like it was a deflection as well. And they're taking their shot, Steve, but from very far out. It's going to be tough to beat Shubhashish from there.
Yeah, it's just not finding the opportunities and at a certain point thinking I need to do a shot a go, where normally you would see a lot of movement, players asking the ball, but most of the players are just jogging at the moment. That's what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm exaggerating and maybe I'm putting it on a bad level, but it seems like that, and that's why you shoot at 30 meters. And even this corner is a pathetic corner. He's not putting any danger on Churchill brothers at all. And it's like the players don't believe, look, where is the movement? Across to no one, no movement, walking back right now. And Churchill brothers is just holding the ball.
Absolutely, it has been a disappointing performance from TRAU. Here's Martin looking for Stenley. Can't find him. Bidyananda, who is on the ball a lot more, which is helping TRAU. There's a bit of movement towards the left-hand side. Now the cross comes in, and Robinson's header is aimlessly into the hands of Shubhashish, who starts it quickly for Martin. Good shielding from him. Plays it towards Costa.
And as you were saying in I-League 3 right now, you were talking about the Goan teams. Right now, Sporting Club de Goa and Dempo has both qualified for the next round in I-League 3. Dempo did that today with a 0-0 draw against Rangjit United of Shillong, which made them group winners in their group, and Sporting Club de Goa did the same thing already a couple of days earlier. The Super 6 there is not fixed yet because there's two more groups that have to play, and for me, of course, with two Bengal teams, Diamond Harbour and with Bhawanipur, who will be playing in those groups, will be for me to look. But the Goan teams indeed have made two strong teams there and will be something to look at when my team, United Sports Club, will play in I-League 2 to hopefully get back into I-League also. So indeed, these are moments for Goa, for Bengal, for other states also to get more representatives in I-League. And it's something where TRAU needs to be careful because there is relegation.
Oh yes, they've got to be careful because they are right now 13th, dead last in the I-League. And as you said, there's so many teams who are competing in I-League 3 and I-League 2 who are vying for spots in this I-League, so you cannot take it for granted. And that being said, TRAU have had quite a few good campaigns in the I-League ever since they did gain promotion themselves. Here they have picked up the ball again. This could be a chance. This is a chance for a shot. Should have been taken slightly earlier though, and it was delayed. And now they can try and cross again. Bishorjeet, decent delivery, but nobody was home. That is where the runners should have come in. They have another chance here with Abraham, but three Churchill brothers players around him, and they do retain possession though eventually.
So something that you saw happening immediately was TRAU is having a little bit of a momentum right now. Churchill brother players not coming to defend anymore, and you have 2-3 of the players of Churchill brothers immediately putting up their voice, especially with the Iranian midfielder who is putting up his voice against his players in telling them, hey guys, you need to get back, you need to be back in position. It's not because we are leading 2-0 that we won the game already. And as you said before, it is these kind of leaders at the moment which I'm missing a little bit with TRAU.
Here's Martin, definitely the leader of Churchill brothers, the skipper, who likes to drop into these positions, plays it towards Stenley, who almost fed in Ricardo. There's Martin who tries to win it back. Bidyananda does well, but Stenley gets his number. Here is Ricardo. This could be number 3 for Churchill brothers. Ricardo looks for the ball towards Anil, but that was good defending because he didn't really have a proper shot either. Decent delivery again, and not cleared by TRAU for now, and they can move it forward. And looks like Martin has pulled up a bit. That will not be good news if he can't continue.
Yeah, and you saw he's putting up his hands. Indeed, that can be bad news for Churchill brothers. In the meantime, TRAU is going to do 2 substitutions.
It looks like it will be Danish Aribam to come on, and also Telam Suranjit Singh, who has a bit of experience. Shitaljit will be coming off. And the main issue here for Churchill brothers is whether their skipper can stay on. Pau is also off for TRAU. Looks like he has asked for it and is giving the armband away. Do you think it's more of let's not take a chance here because they are leading?
I think that a player of his level at this time, it's still only the 60th minute. I do not think it's really just let another player take over. There must be something. If you're in the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're winning 2-0, it's a bit of a different story. But I think he's a little bit afraid that it could become worse. And I guess that could be 1 or 2 weeks, maybe that he needs to take a rest. We have to see what happens with doctor's reports for him. But I have a feeling that there can be a small injury.
Yeah, this is where they will be really careful, Churchill brothers. A couple of changes for TRAU. Now Churchill will make their second. Definitely have options on the bench, of course. And now Richard Costa will take over the captain's armband. He has been at Churchill brothers for a long time. Started his career in 2012. Then went to East Bengal for a bit. And then came back to Churchill brothers. So has been here most of his career and has settled very nicely into the I-League setup in the last few years. That is good from TRAU. Robinson plays it wide. This could be the chance they were looking for, but that's a feeble effort. And that is the best opening we've seen TRAU create since that first minute, Steve.
Yeah, it was an opportunity to do better. A shot that's not really going anywhere. But this has been the story of TRAU again in this game also. The moment that they get to that final third, they smell the opportunity. Most of the times it's just not good enough what they put in front. And it's again a wasted opportunity there.
You get the feeling that that ball was supposed to be played for Abraham. It just went behind him. And then the shot wasn't the best. Here come Churchill again though. Costa, no real pressure on him. Not sure that change has been made yet. So Churchill brothers could have an extra player, or rather one player less. You can see Faisal and Luis Ogana are preparing to come on. And they will come on now. So Luis Ogana comes on, and Steve, Churchill brothers were playing with a man less there. That is where TRAU have got to put more pressure, but we saw again that it was too easy for Richard Costa. Even with the man more, they're not applying that pressure on their opponents.
No, there's no pressure at all from TRAU. It's like half work that they do from the beginning. And right now, Churchill brothers has put a little bit of fresh leg, quickness even, with Ogana, who has these moments, with Faisal, who is very quick also on that wing. So I think that the coach now has decided, look, it's 2-0. Let us put a little bit of firepower extra up front to maybe score a couple of more goals. Because he sees that until now, TRAU is not really making it difficult for Churchill brothers. But what I immediately notice is that they go to a 4-4-2 because they are playing with Ogana up front. Faisal is coming on the left side. They still have Ricardo up front, so that makes it 2. They were playing next to each other. So now you're going to a 4-4-2. We need to see that midfield is going to be able to hold it. Maybe even Ogana dropping down a little bit.
Another disappointing corner for TRAU. Another delivery comes in. It's a decent one, headed over the top of Shubhashish's post, and like most of the shots, a lot of them have just gone over.
And you see that the Churchill brothers at the moment, the players are talking a lot to each other. I think that the communication from the coach is now going on to the pitch, and that they are telling each other what the coach just explained, how he wants them to play, what he wants to see changed, even with this 2-0. And again, that's talking about that leadership, players taking up what needs to be taken up, players guiding each other in, look, this is how we're going to play now, this is what we're going to do different. And that is so important in a game.
Looks like Ogana has been hit in the face there. Another player has gone down. Don't know if we will see a card, but that's his first involvement. I'm just asking whether he's playing behind Ricardo or not.
So that's what I was just saying about. That's what you have with leaders, and we see it was a little bit of a clumsy kick over there, both pulling each other. I don't think it was really a moment of wanting to hurt him, but the foot came quite high. But there you saw indeed Ogana talking to his coach, asking, am I playing behind him? Am I playing together? Do we need to follow? So that means again that communication gap a little bit. Remember what we said at the beginning of the game? With the coach talking Spanish, his players not completely understanding what or how. Even on the pitch, just being substituted, still having to ask, what exactly do I need to do? Where do I need to run?
Ralte puts this ball in for Churchill brothers. It's kept alive. There's Ogana. Asked for a handball. And it's been given. Oh, it's been given. I don't know if that is the correct decision. And the TRAU players cannot believe it. Ogana is having a word as to who will take the penalty. And this is Bishorjeet, who has given away the penalty. And it looked like a tight one, Steve.
Yeah, it looked indeed. Let us see what the replay will tell us. He was thinking long also. He didn't blow immediately. He saw Ogana pointing and asking for the handball. Let us see if we see something at the end. It's very light in my eyes, but if you follow the official rules and if we could have turned the image, I think that there is a ball on the arm. And right now the rule is wherever the ball is touched on the bottom of your arm, if it is on your body, not on your body, it is handball. There is no more exception in saying I put the hands in front of my body, it doesn't count. That's why you see most European players putting their hands behind their body.
Well, a big decision which has been made by referee Lingdo Nongam. And now Luis Ogana, who's just stepped onto the pitch, will step up to take this penalty and to try and put the game to bed for Churchill brothers. Mohammad Rafiq in between the sticks to try and stop Luis Ogana. Ogana with the slow run up. And easy as you like. And it has been that sort of an evening for Churchill brothers. Everybody getting in and amongst the celebrations. It's Ogana's first of this I-League campaign. And the celebrations will continue because it's going to be tough for TRAU to get back in.
And we saw him celebrating there with Mr. Garcia, a physical coach who's been working in Indian football for so long, Brazilian nationality, has worked with the winning teams, Gokulam Kerala, has worked with United Sports Club in the past also, and a fantastic person inside this Indian football. Immediately Luis Ogana running to him. That's what you are looking for into a team, and that's what at the end is happening. And you saw again, easy pass inside that corner as a penalty. 3-0 for Churchill Brothers, and a very difficult evening again for TRAU.
Here's Stanley, who has carried the ball well throughout this game. This time might just lose out and commits another foul. And whatever you say about that penalty, whether it was a close one or not, at the end of the day, when TRAU were building a bit of momentum, again, they have gone and conceded. And Churchill Brothers now can breathe quite easily for the next 20 minutes. And they would love to keep a clean sheet and finish this game off with this scoreline, or maybe even more goals. But for TRAU, it's looking even more disappointing. And it looks like Chika Ojulu, the other Nigerian, will be coming on as well.
That will most probably be for Ricardo. That's what I'm guessing. Ricardo has had his moment already. Give him some extra rest. And then you're going to play up front with Chika and with Ogana. Two players who are going to use their power, who are going to use their strength and speed against the defenders of TRAU. And most probably they'll keep playing in a 4-4-2 right now, which has shown also that can give a lot of danger in the defense of TRAU, and for Churchill Brothers to keep having that momentum.
And this is the perfect time for someone like Ojulu to come on. Ojulu, I beg your pardon, to come on. You can see Subhashish Roy Chowdhury just warming himself up because he's not had much to do. And of course, Ricardo will be coming off. The prime marksman for Churchill Brothers. 4 goals in the season so far. Could have got even more today. And it looks like TRAU will also be making a substitution. Laishram will also be coming on for them in place of Bishorjeet, who gave that penalty away. Now Faisal can put something into the area. He whips that nicely, and I think there was a bit of a push and a slightly discomforting sight, at least, as one of the players of TRAU go down. I think it's Preetham. Looks like he will be okay.
And we just saw that there was already 20 fouls in this match, 13 for Churchill Brothers and 7 for TRAU. We see here the substitutions that have just been made. But it's not something that we would have expected, that Churchill Brothers would have made more fouls already than TRAU. But it's also something, again, that shows the lack of pressing of TRAU at the moment. Because if you are trailing, let us say first before the 3-0, you are trailing 2-0, you would be going pressing and chasing, and you would go and make 3, 4, 5 extra fouls. And we just don't see that at the moment.
Yeah, I completely agree. That hunger hasn't been there for TRAU so far. Churchill, on the other hand, have been quite focused on getting these 3 points and have done so. There's Sebastian Zoe and Faisal Ali. Nice little 1-2 between both of them down that right-hand side. And now, for the likes of Faisal and Chika and everyone else coming on, you can play with a bit of freedom. And that's important for Churchill Brothers. And for the subs, or the keeper has not come for it again. Stanley almost got there. And then just pushes it out. Again, Rafiq just not sure as to whether he wants to come out and claim it or not. Given away again. Mesam holds on to possession.
And if we look a little bit further in the next upcoming matches for Churchill brothers, they have very difficult 3 away matches. Next match away at Gokulam Kerala. Then they have to go to Delhi and the last one to Shillong Lajong. So for Churchill brothers right now, having 7 points gives them a little bit of a breathing space.
Yeah.
But very difficult matches upcoming, especially away from home.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that is why we said that this is such an important game to get those 3 points. So now they will be quite comfortable in the last 15 minutes of this game. And then Edgardo Malvestiti can look at those 3 fixtures. And it's going to be tough to get points away from home, like you said. But this will give them a lot of confidence. And getting a home win as well, it's something which you would like to treat your home fans to. They couldn't do that against Interkashi, but they can do that today. So it's a nice little treat for those Churchill Brothers fans who have made the trip to Tilak Maidan Stadium as well.
And then at the end, if you think further, this could be indeed have been a reason why the captain came off.
Yeah.
Having felt a little bit of a pain, a little bit of an injury, knowing that these 3 important matches are coming up. At that point, it's 2-0 inside the game. I think he just made a decision, let me go and rest, take my time, be ready for Gokulam Kerala, where they have to travel to. That is being smart, that's being a leader as a captain also.
Absolutely. And these are the small things that if you are winning, you can afford to do. But for TRAU, it's not been that sort of a day. Again, Abraham flicks it into the path of Shubhashish, who will look for a forward pass, smiling as he launches that forward. And speaking of small victories, this one will be another one for Churchill, where TRAU have not been a team where they've picked up points against in the past. Churchill have only won once versus TRAU. 4 wins for TRAU, 2 draws in between them over different competitions. That's a poor challenge from Sebastian. So today this will be a good win for Churchill Brothers, having beaten TRAU after a while. Shubhashish launches it long. No real pressure from the away side again.
I think at the moment for TRAU, they will have to get together as a team, put the coaches, the coaching staff, everyone together and try to find where it goes wrong. But maybe here they get an opportunity.
Yeah, another shot from distance just goes high above. And again, Shubhashish just has a word with his players. But all of these shots, Steve, have been from so far away and they're not really changing anything.
Have we seen the goalkeeper of Churchill Brothers actually having to do a save? I don't think so. There's been a lot of shots from TRAU, but they've all ended up against the building behind the goal instead of inside the area where it matters. And I can just imagine if he would have been playing in the winter in Europe,
Yeah.
or maybe in the winter even here in India, in Kashmir, and he would have stood like that for 90 minutes in the cold. I can understand why he's warming up sometimes, because he's not had to do anything. And it's very strange because TRAU has had a lot of shots at goal. We will see it afterwards. They've had a lot of shots at goal, but not really at goal.
Yeah, it's been that sort of a game from them, just a hit and hope. A bit of space here for Churchill Brothers. Ajulu puts it in. Decent diving header to clear it away. Now Bidyananda can move it forward. Churchill Brothers fairly relaxed. They will want that clean sheet no matter what. Faisal also dropping back. Decent ball through. Abraham does well to keep it at his feet. Plays it wide. Chance for a cross in. And again that ball is over the top.
And something that I saw already a couple of minutes ago, is when you looked at some of the players of TRAU, and this is not me throwing a stone or anything at anyone, but if you look at some of the players of TRAU, there are some of them who are overweight at the moment, and that can make a difference in being able to run back or not. And it's clearly viewable inside the shirts, and at this level, I'm convinced that players need to be at the top of their level, because you're playing with professional players, and it cannot be that if you're playing at this level and you are 5, 6, 7 kilograms overweight, and we just saw here another opportunity. I'm sure if this would have been on the other side, Ricardo, he would have pushed that ball in. And here again, it's that you see his mind is down, his head is down, and it's been so long. And I was talking about shots. Look at these. Churchill brothers had only 9 shots, and TRAU had 14, and nothing was at goal. Not one opportunity, and they had some other opportunities where they just missed the ball. So I was talking first about this overweight. You cannot be overweight in this division. It's just not possible. These are professional players, some coming from all over the world to come and play as a professional player here. And I think that this has something to do with them not performing.
There are lots of different reasons for TRAU not being at their best, and Steve, you've pointed out quite a few today. I think the main thing here for them is to just try and reset and go again, because they've after this now played 6 games. You've got 6 more against teams you haven't faced, and then we'll go into that second round of fixtures. Shot from distance this time from a Churchill Brothers player. I think it was Ogana, but that is also over the top.
It's indeed what you were saying, and we see a substitution here first being made.
Rahul Raju will come on, and Stanley Fernandez is off. He's had a good game today, making use of that start, and now Rahul Raju can come on for the last 10 minutes or so.
So as you were saying, indeed, there is still 18 matches to go at the end. It's not finished for TRAU, but this was a bad 4.
An awkward one for Rahul Raju. 8th foul for TRAU, and you were right, Steve, he fell slightly awkwardly. He's just come on there. I'm not sure who made that challenge, but fell very awkwardly, and that's good to know that he gets back quickly. Let's take another look at it. It was the skipper who's very late, and you can see how badly he took that fall there. Gogoi gets into the book for that challenge.
But it was not a foot forward. Yes, it was his leg. It's also because of the run that you go over like that. But this could have ended up much worse if he would have fallen onto his neck, for an example.
And this is number 4 for Churchill Brothers. No marking whatsoever from TRAU. And it is the big defender, the other Argentinian, Emiliano Caligari, who gets onto the score sheet. And it is a huge party at the Tilak Maidan, and they've got their dancing shoes on as well.
Let us see here what exactly goes wrong, but it's again in the far zone, completely free, left alone, and you see the players of TRAU immediately talking to their teammate who left it alone. Let us see again. No, we don't get it a second time. Just to be clear, who exactly left the player alone, but you cannot let a player go like that. It's just not possible. He just has to tap the ball in there. And these kind of moments, it just shows that TRAU at the moment is sick. It's sick how they are playing. And we were talking about that. There is only one remedy right now. It's get together. Fight it out, discuss it out, but come back as a team together and focus on the next couple of matches. And nothing is played. That's the luck. There is still a lot of matches to go. But of course, your goal difference is putting you so far behind already that if one day it ends up in goal difference, you're going to be in big trouble.
Absolutely. In terms of points, they are just a win away from getting close to the likes of Niroka and Namdhari, who are both on 4 points. Rajasthan are on 3. But you said the exact thing I was thinking of there, Steve. Goal difference is going to be a big issue for them. And conceding 4 today, and they could have conceded a lot more. It's just the Churchill brothers haven't really created a lot. And they've conceded the same goal twice. In the first half, that cross was made towards Richard Costa. This is similar. Very good ball from Ralte. Again over the top, and that back post run absolutely unmarked. And when you start making the same mistake twice in a game, Steve, that's when you know that it's really bad.
Yeah, it's learning moments that you need to get quicker. It's the same what happened in the previous game with TRAU. 2 times on the first post for the goalkeeper. They're not looking, they're not.
Another ball towards the second this time. Faisal should keep it alive. Likes to use that left foot of his. Goes towards the left hand side. Does really well. Sets it up. And almost finds a Julu. That would have been a moment of magic from Faisal Ali. We've seen that previously from him. But first time in a red shirt. That's a nice nutmeg from Abraham. And now a decent ball through. Can TRAU finally get one? The first time shot is taken. And again Shubhashish just watches it go past his post. It was Malin Ganba with that shot.
It just shows what they are missing at the moment. What the game of TRAU is about. You have a wonderful opportunity. Quick counter-attack. Transition from defense to attack. A player getting alone inside the box. And the ball ending up, again, like I say, against the building instead of the goalkeeper having to save it.
Yeah, if you've got a room in that building, you will be quite distressed with the amount of balls that has been hitting it today. But as you said, they have created a few chances, just haven't hit the target. And Steve, just a question here. As a coach, when you've lost 5 out of 6, you've not got your first win yet, your goal difference is very bad, we've spoken about all of this. In your next training session, how do you go about it? Do you go back to the basics? As you said, do you have a team meeting? Do you get everyone involved? Do you ask your players what the issue is? How, from a coaching perspective, do you take up this challenge?
First of all, I've never won or lost 5 matches out of 6.
That you did.
No, but we lost a couple of this year in CFL in a row. And first thing in my eyes that you need to do is you need to get out of your players what is getting wrong. You need to talk what you think is getting wrong. And together, that's the most important thing right now. Together, you need to find solutions. Is it we're not physically ready? Is it the tactics who are not good? Is it we don't really know where we need to position ourselves? It can't be the language because it's most of them are Hindis, are Indian players, so it can't really be the language as a problem. But it's getting together, getting all the frustrations out. And sometimes really getting all the frustrations out. That means there will be some bad language coming out. But as long as it's on a constructive way, it can be a positive turnaround. And we had that this year when in CFL we lost, I think it was our 3rd game in a row against Mohan Super Giants in CFL. We lost 2-0 over there. I was really frustrated after 3 losses in a row, which a little bit like TRAU right now. We had 26 shots at goal at Mohan Bagan, and we just couldn't convert our chances. We sat together, we discussed, I shouted, some of the players shouted, we came together back on training session. We said, look, we need to do better, and we can do better than what we are doing. And we went on a row of 5 matches, winning in 5 matches, so 15 points out of 15. And this is what I'm telling. There is 18 matches to go for TRAU. The season is not finished for them. But they need to find solution, and it's urgent that they need to find a solution. Whatever they need to do it better than what they are doing right now.
Yeah.
And the players who are here, I am convinced that they have quality.
Yeah.
It cannot be that they don't have any quality in this team, because otherwise these players would not be on this stage. But they need to do better. And how they have to do that, it's not up to me to figure it out, because I'm not inside the dressing room. But maybe one win in the next match could suddenly trigger that momentum and can give you a completely different season. Right now it's not working, and I'm sure that the coaches, the management, the players will be talking to each other. But yeah, it's very urgent for them at the moment.
I think, firstly, the insight is incredible, and secondly, the main word which I picked up from there is together. And it's very often seen, as we see Mesam just struggling slightly there with his thigh. We see quite a few managers and players falling out. Sometimes the dressing room has a bit of a split. That's something they can't afford here, TRAU. And if they can try and move forward with this together, hash it out, then there is a lot of time to go forward. And they do have those fixtures against the likes of Shillong Lajong and Aizawl and the rest, where they can try and pick up those points. One win and it can all change, just like it can do for Churchill here. One win today and they could be back amongst that mid-table, as 5 minutes of added time have been indicated towards the end of this game. TRAU still looking for their first. Ball is played through for Abraham, who's chasing it down, and Caligari will clear it without taking any chances.
And talking about Abraham, he will be thinking about that first chance in the first minute.
Yeah.
1-0 there could have made such a big difference, could have been a mental boost, and they missed it. And as I said from the first minute, I think that one already played mentally against him, because I have a feeling that in their mind, it's going to be the same as every day. We come onto the pitch, we create our opportunities, which they've done loads, creating opportunities, but it's all just not good enough. And that's what you saw in that shot. He comes there, he's not even running anymore right now. And players I saw already during the match in the last couple of minutes, they've been talking to him to try to get him motivated. But that, for a striker, that could have been such a big difference. And he's not a bad player. He weighs on a defense. But if you can't score, if your team can't score, and this is one of the biggest, except the first match, they have not scored anymore. It weighs. It weighs on your mind, and it weighs on your team. And this moment for me is the moment that maybe broke their game.
Just goes to show that in the first minute of the game, things can change. And that is exactly what has happened, as you said, for Abraham. And you're right, he is a very good player. He's created most of the chances for TRAU throughout the campaign. It's just that he couldn't take that particular one. And this will be 5 games now, Steve, that they haven't scored a goal. And that is something that will be playing on their minds. And you speak about TRAU being a very good team. These players, of course, very good. They finished 4th last season. So this is the season where you will be thinking, okay, let's break into the top 3. But that just hasn't been the case. And now they find themselves right at the bottom of the I-League after 6 games played.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Sometimes the things don't go your way, as we said about this opportunity. And
it looks like it will be a card here. A second push there from the likes of Thomas Singh. And the second one gets him that card.
And he's even there trying to explain to his opponent this is where you see it's a stupid push there. It's unnecessary to go and do that because there's no pressure at all. But the way he goes and explains to his opponent what exactly happened after a yellow card. If you are feeling fine, you're at 100%, let us watch this first.
And towards the second post again. It could set up here for Faisal, who opens it up for himself nicely, but again, just holds on to possession and goes into the corner.
So what I was exactly saying there, if you're feeling 100% good in your body and you made a push which you think will help your team, why would you go and explain to your opponent why you pushed him? These are the little small things as a coach that you see on a pitch that you know they are not feeling well in their body, well in their mind. I cannot imagine a Churchill brother player, Ogana, maybe Ricardo, after a push, going to explain to the other team, I have pushed you, why am I getting a yellow card? You would not do that. Not a chance at all. And that's what you see is happening right now.
And this could be the last chance for TRAU to try and break that jinx. Shot from distance again. And another frustrating effort from outside the area. And now this could be a chance. Faisal goes for the flick. And the end of an agonizing 90 minutes if you are a TRAU fan or player. But for Churchill brothers at home at Tilak Maidan Stadium, they get a win. They get the 3 points and the 4 goals. And now they move to 7 points.
Yeah, it was very difficult. You see it here. Players are down already. Don't know anymore what they need to do to improve. I see another player sitting down there on the far side. This is very difficult mentally. And as we said, they need to regroup. And we see it here, the statistics.
Yeah, 55% ball possession for Churchill brothers. Not too much of the ball. 11 shots, more shots for TRAU, but 3 on target only. And those were also feeble ones. 5 shots on target only for Churchill brothers, 4 of them leading to a goal. 17 fouls from the Red Machines, 9 for TRAU, 2 yellow cards from the away side and 1 for the home team. And in terms of ball possession, Churchill brothers had a little bit more of it, not too much, but it is here where it counted. 2 shots each for Ricardo, Dishiara, Ogana, Stenley, and 1 apiece for Anil, Caligari and Costa. And all of them inside the box is what you were trying to say, Steve?
Absolutely, that's what I was going to say. And look at this difference. Everything, most of the chances are outside the box, except Abraham, who had 3 inside the box. All the rest was far distant shots and not really one which made a difference. And there you see indeed scoring a goal most of the times inside the danger box.
Oh, absolutely. It was more of a hit and hope from TRAU, and unfortunately for them, they are losing a bit of hope. Here were the 17 fouls for Churchill brothers. 6 from Stenley in that midfield, 3 from Sebastian Zoe, 2 for the rest of them. And for TRAU, 9 fouls, 2 from Gogoi, 2 from Abraham, and 1 apiece from Bidyananda, Bisho, and Pritam and Shitaljit. So as the Tilak Maidan clears slowly, it is the Churchill brothers side who score 4 and pick up the 3 points. Ricardo starting it off with a fine finish to get his 4th of the season. Martin with 1 shot, then Anil set up Richard Costa, who put this header through the legs of Mohammad Rafiq. A nice ball in, but as you can see, the marking very poor from TRAU. Then Martin setting up Ricardo again, his first and second touch just letting him down. Anil going for that header, then it fell kindly, but the shot